Here comes the news with a twist and a grin. Steve and Alan diving in again.
Britain is in the grip of a vomiting epidemic caused by nauseating TV adverts.
He'll hit your brain like a lightning spark. Steve and Alan
On slavery,
almost daily.
investigating
Laughs and facts served up plainly.
look at your face.
Your
Like, what are
dose
you
of
going to do
wit,
with
it's never shady. Steve and Alan almost daily.
Hello and welcome to Stephen Allen, Almost Daily. I'm Stephen Allen. This is a day, what more do you want? It's a Friday as well, so it's a live and loose Friday, live and loose. Oh, that's breaking news. Friday, live and loose. Welcome to Friday, live and loose with me, Steve and Allen. If you don't know what that means, there's a good reason for that. No one cares. But also, it's on this show, the Friday one, it's slapped together a little bit more. So this is a great time for you to get into the chat. I've got a hair in my mouth, which is even more annoying when you're a bald man. It's the beard, isn't it? I get in the chat, you do some chit-chat. We keep it live, we keep it loose. It's live and loose.
Friday, live and loose.
Also, I should say on a Friday, for some reason, we are 35% more, hang on, hair in the mouth by the feel of it, but also 35% more jingles, which is kind of annoying because we're trying to sit here being live and loose.
Friday, live and loose.
Right, let's get stuck into it. You can get involved in the chat. We have to scroll back for some of the chat, though, don't we? Because it's already kicked off. Let's see who's here. We've got Proper Memes was first, Joodles was second. They're like Donald Sinden and the Welsh one in Never the Twain. Lovely boy. Proper Memes saying, well, I'm not going to say what that is. Then Chris turns up saying, is it lunchtime? This is all you think about food, isn't it? Charlotte's here saying, I might just be able to sit through the whole thing without being disturbed. Was the last episode that troublesome? I have nightmares from some of the songs that I do as well. Joodles, can I get a cup and some toast made before Colin turns up? What? The Chris says, I'm happy to disturb you. Here we go. You dirty old man. Ooh, Harold. And then it turns out in which way. Yes. Where do I got? Joodles is here. Chris, I have a brother, Colin. Well, it feels like we're down a rabbit hole there. Ho, Kermit's here. I assume it's Clumsy Colin from the Skips advert. Okay, you pushed us further down that rabbit hole. We've only just started. Now we're talking about different crisps. What is this, local radio? Do you remember back in the days, used to have the crisps? Do you remember discos? They were great. Which actually, interestingly, I used to eat discos, but never actually at a disco. Here's Celine Dion. Used to do that as a living. Hi, I'm here, says Brit. Brit, you egg muncher. What have you been up to? Munching the eggs, but only the small ones. So, and Ems is here. They're floaty light. Sebastian's here. Hi, Seb. Hi, Steve. Thank you. Oh, saying the podcast lifts your mood. That's good because it disturbs Charlotte and it disturbs me when I listen back to the songs. Right, we're up and running. We are ready to get stuck into this one. I should say, some of you might be thinking, Steve, this is all very well doing this. When are you going to address the elephant in the room? Weren't you meant to be on BBC Radio 5 Live today in studio, meaning you didn't have time to get back to do a Friday Live and Loose show? And you're right. I have been cancelled by the BBC. And we touched on this yesterday, and I think this is my time now to write some sort of Substack, get interviewed in various podcasts because of the cancellation. Cancel culture has just gone too far because now, thanks to various reasons, I've been cancelled by the BBC. I'm going to play it again. Those reasons might be there's a war on and they've booked me in for a couple of weeks' time. Shush, 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 shush. This is my one break. I can write a book. I can go on Piers Morgan tonight. I can do all of those ones. I've finally been cancelled by... I made a flipping jingle for it. What more do you... I've been cancelled by the BBC. Yeah, postponed. But, you know, postponed by the BBC was not a jingle I decided to make. So I'm here today because they wanted to do some sort of war special for some reason. But they've rebooked me in for April. Do they think the war will be over by then? Let's find out by taking a look at the front pages.
Front pages.
Front pages. We can take a look, and we start with the oil war. UK military preparing to defend tankers in Middle East. I've changed my position on this one. I don't know who it was who said there's no point having a mind unless you're willing to change it. If I had a better mind, I would have looked that quote up before I used it, but I didn't. And I will not back down on that. I will not change my mind on that particular shush. The point is, before, you may have seen me crop up on various media outlets saying, look, I'm in favour of an intervention that helps the people of Iran. But then petrol got a bit expensive, didn't it? So maybe now I'm in favour of what's the one that makes petrol cheaper? I don't know what it is. Who do we bomb that makes petrol cheaper? It feels like no one. It feels like it gets more expensive all the time. Can we look into the doing than that one? Apparently, the government are having a meeting. Chancellor Rachel Reeves will be meeting with people from the oil industry to have a little check, make sure they're not, profiteering is not the word they've used. Price gouging, that's the phrase. There's obviously no plans going to come from this, but it's all show. But they're getting people from the oil and the petrol industry to have a meeting to say, let's just make sure we're doing all we can so that we don't absolutely naff up this economy. Can you imagine how hard it will be to sit across from Rachel Reeves saying, are you doing anything that's going to ruin the economy? And you'd be like, she don't know. Are we ruining the economy? She's got no. Yeah. Thanks, Rachel. I've hurt myself even doing two of those. Imagine whoever's in charge of BP will do the absolute necking. Front page of the Times. Nicole Kidman and revenge undressing. I don't know, but I will be buying a copy to have a look. I don't know what it's about. Starmer accused of misleading MPs after hiring Mandelson. The latest on this story is, you know how the Prime Minister said, yep, we hired this guy, but he lied. He lied to me. He Charles and Eddie'd me. He absolutely lied to me, baby. What are you going to do about it? And then it turns out in the latest Peter Files dump is that he actually, Starmer sent two other people who were friends of Mandelson to check on the checking of Mandelson. Now, firstly, if you've got anyone in charge of vetting to see if someone's up for the job, maybe don't ask their friends, people with whom they socialise. But okay, I guess maybe everyone's connected in the Labour Party. But don't then say he lied to me when he actually lied to someone else. You've lied about lying. You've Mobius stripped yourself. It's an umlaut. You've Mobius stripped yourself again. And not in the Nicole Kidman way, in the other way. You've U-turned whilst inverting up inside yourself somehow. I'm not sure how that's even possible. Got a message there. Someone's at the front door. Never mind. So that's upsetting, I guess, but also not at all surprising. We need to have this discussion because everyone's circling around what a terrible thing employing him. They clearly thought these files were never going to come out. So when they were shown the details being like there's chance of reputational damage, their thought process would have been, well, only if anyone ever hears about this. No one's that. What? These files, we're not going to have to release them. The American ones, that Trump dude's not going to be releasing. Come on. We're not going to have to tell anyone about Mandelson. And we need to have the discussion, the honest discussion about, are we just doing this to try and punish Starmer? Because do you actually give two flips about whether Mandelson was hired or not? Look, the lying I'm not in favour of. But if they were thinking, he'd be good at the job, he's a right dodgy, but he's a good... He'll get stuff done. He'll get a good deal for us in America. Because, if Trump hired someone who used to be a TV host and then all the left pushed back saying, well, this is a terrible hiring, and you went, well, it's all about results. No. Maybe this is about results. I don't care that much about the hiring. I care about the lying. This is where it goes. Let's see what's happening in the chat before we move to the Peter Files. Yes, Chris, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Obviously, in America, I guess they'd pronounce that wrong, but they also pronounce the other word wrong, don't they? So, there's some mini egg chat. I might need to scroll slightly higher. Have a look. Brit says, "Yeah, for mini egg love." You fools to yourselves. Dentists love people who eat cream eggs, or patients as they're known. Yes. Steve was cancelled because he's a weapon. I'm taking that as a compliment. I'm a massive weapon. Thank you. I'd be more disturbed by one in clothes, says to Kerms, says Joodles. I don't know what we're talking about. The dentists. Charlotte says you have to be patient to lick out a cream egg, Chris. That is true. Just takes practice. That's fairly hard. I've got another hair. The problem is we've reached the stage of beard now where it's turning in on its owner. Yum mini eggs, says Kermit. I've got some mini egg cookies out of the oven. Lovely boy. Oh, stop it, says Charlotte. You keep making me hungry, Kermit. He's making me hungry as well. He's making me do Windsor Davis impressions. That was the guy. Cream eggs seem smaller than ever, or maybe you've just got bigger, Justin. Maybe, but also probably smaller. Mini egg cookies. Pass them over, says Britt. This is a topical news show. I've also been cancelled by the BBC. Nothing since I was on Jake Yapp's Unwinding on BBC Radio 4 Extra in 2023. Have you been cancelled by the BBC? Me too, man. I mean, I've actually literally been cancelled by the BBC when they got rid of the MASH report. But shush, this is the main one that we're paying attention to now. Let's have a look. Proper Meme says, I made a P-Files meme available on my X timeline. Oh, okay. People can head out there and check it out. I saw that. Well, Martin's already seen it. I had no further approaches from the BBC since I appeared on local radio in 1991, says Justin. You've been cancelled because they've gone woke. Look, these words don't make sense, but that doesn't stop people, does it? And King of Memes is RP at the ears, isn't he? But as in proper memes, not as in the Prime Minister. It's starting to sound like a poor elephant whose trunk was stuck up its own arse on brass eye. What, the Mobius thing? He's what he's done to himself. If, says Justin, I were a country's ruler, I would insist on personally flying military drones. But aren't drones not flown by people? Isn't that what drone means? A pube in my mouth, says Kermit. That takes me back. Oh, by the way, I should have... there should have been... Look, there is a macro that has now been invented. If I play the old keyboard, the keyboard cam comes up, and if I stop... Yeah. Was that worth spending that much time and effort creating a macro that was sensitive to one of the inputs, then loading in this? The camera doesn't even show you all the keys because I don't have a holder for the camera yet, but was that worth it? No. That's the end of that discussion. But Charlotte says, pube in the mouth reminds me of a conversation I had this morning with someone. Is it worth two in the bush? It's not worth two in the bush, is it? If anything, they're better off in the bush. Well, it is a Friday. I adore the fact that you subjunctive corrected Justin mid-sentence. Who did that? What did I do? Justin. If I were... Oh, yeah. Of course. He's not mature. I'm willing to correct Justin. Keyboard. Macros are always worth it. They flipping out, aren't they? Look at this bad. Well, I'm not going to press it again. You've seen what it does now. Keyboard cam. We'd better get a song, Brit. Well, no, you've heard me singing. There might be one. We'll see. We'll see how live and loose things get as we plow on with the show. Where were we? Front pages. Iranian drones directed by hidden hand of Putin, but not flown by, because I think you'll find a drone is flown by no one. It's remotely. I don't think that's what drone means. And also in terms of the subjunctive. So if I were a leader, I would remotely fly. What's this one? This looks like more fun. 3D printers could provide personalized hospital food. Is that a threat? Hang on, zoom the other way so I can read this darn thing at my age. Still can't really read it. Printed chocolate and mashed potato may be part of our future diet, according to Britain's food safety. I mean, look, it sounds bad enough having food in hospital, but having vending machines are bad enough. But 3D printed food, like watching the food get pooped out of the robot's cloaca. I didn't want to say anus. I found an alternative. The 3D printing technology uses edible inks. Yum. To build food layers, layer by layer, creating customized shapes, textures, and nutritional profiles. Yum, yum. It's like the gunk that they eat in the Matrix. Although the science is at an early stage, products are not expected to go on sale before 2035. So there's a chance I die before this. So there's hope. There is already growing interest, particularly within the NHS, because they want to, let's automate the whole food thing. Just a pipe in the ceiling just poops out your set of... What's going on here? Charlotte says, I've been gone that long, I didn't even know we had a keyboard cam. We didn't. It's the first time I've made it work. Basically, the USB cable is dodge AF. If I move the camera, it then says USB not recognized. So that was... I made the macro, and then the camera stopped. Flipping my life. A drone is a male honeybee, says Kermit. Unlike the female worker bee, the drone has no stinger. Yeah, I hear that. I don't really know what that means, but it feels like a thing that men say. You really are like Depeche Mode now, Steve. I am like Depeche Mode. They've not had any hits in the last year either. I sat on a 3D printer once, says through Charlotte. They all got a peach jelly afterwards. Jules says, my knickers just fell off, Martin. What does Martin do? Even better, were I a leader? Oof. And you're right. I imagine you end a sentence with a preposition, and those knickers are going right back on, aren't they? It's a nightmare. Science corner. I foresee cross-contamination of gluten-free slop. Well, that's easy for you to say, says Chris Hood. Yeah, it just seems gluten-free slop is my what 3 words says proper memes. It's not mine. No better say it. Never go home again. Meals in the image of one's face. So you could eat yourself. I don't know if that would be better or worse than the robot's cloaca. Definitely, Chris, and some issues with nuts, probably. You could have it in the shape of your nuts. Is that what you're saying, Ems? I mean, it's not a bad idea, is it? We've been looking for merch for this thing. I thought of desk nuts. There is a chance that we could do a chocolate moulding. Let me know in the comments. Britt, a poop pipe in the hospital is totally a different thing. Never to be confused with food delivery. That's the thing. You face the wrong way. It's not like when they get you up on the ramps. This whole thing I'm against. Can we have a break from interesting things for a minute while I noisily grind my coffee beans? Yes, you can. How long does it take to do your coffee beans, Kermit? You crack on now. I'll just bring in some music. I'll try and do me blues finish. It's because I'm not a left-handed pianist. Hang on. Sorry. I've really got a dirty mind today. I'm just turning everything into an innuendo. I think the idea of desk nuts was it's not your fault if you found that to be somewhat rude. Most 16-year-old boys try to eat them. Hey, Brit. Yo, cheeky Brit. You never reach, even at that age. So we're up to date. Hopefully all the grinding is done. Kermit, I don't see nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. But everything else he did, I'm not in favour of. But we've still got more front pages to do. Christ on a bike, we're going to be here all day. Let's just reset the size on that. We've done 2 front pages. And we've been on air for an hour and a half. Cheltenham Gold Cup, that's the one you win, is it? I don't really know these terms. I don't really do that stuff. Kemi PM's told lies. We've already covered him lying about lying. You know, the meta lie. Kate, as in Princess Catherine, I think you'll find. I've barely drunk alcohol since cancer, says the Princess of Wales. Also, look at that. I mean, I don't know if that undermines her point. She's double part there, presuming one's for William. Which pub do they go to? Because you've got to be careful. Because if you go to a pub called, like, The King's Head, is there a pub called, like, The Nonce Brother? I don't know. Russia may be behind UK attack on UK troops. Yep, sure, absolutely sure. I take responsibility for Mandelson's appointment, says Starmer. Well, I'm sure that'll change. Here we go. Let's zoom into some of these bad boys. 9 in 10 too ill for job site mental health. We've actually got more on that story inside the newspapers. Maybe we'll cover that a little bit better there. And Cheltenham winner seeks a girlfriend. Is this a horse that's seeking a girlfriend? This is so blurry. No one can read this, can they? A mother of a winning jockey. They have jockeys. I forgot. I just thought they had the horses. You don't want to date a horse. I dated a horse once. She was an absolute mare. Where's the thing? There's a... So, where am I going? And Ems says, I called someone at work a left-handed pianist a few days ago. They clearly don't watch the show by the blank look on their face. Also, they clearly don't watch the show by the viewing figures. Either way, we could reliably ascertain they don't watch the show, the left-handed pianist. I think we need an update on desk nook progression, Charlotte. What update would you need? I'm still in the testing phase to work out how many pieces of paper I could reliably weight. Because when we get to the summer months and people have a fan on, what you need is a reliable paperweight that can... I'm not saying I want to manage a whole ream. Why the long face? Good point. Steve confusing horses with male bees. Yep. The find a horse partner on Equinda. Would that be it? There you go. That was exactly the update we needed, said Joodles. Yes, I'm in the R&D. You know, I know what the D stands for. We're up to date. Is there another front page left to go? Sweet mercy. Oh, yes, The Guardian. I think this one down here. This is the one we're looking at down here. Damage to historic sites is war on civilization. The US and Israel have been accused of a declaration of war on civilization by the governor of the historic Iranian city. Of that one. Yeah, the worst things. If you've blown up some... Look, war is a nasty business. And I presume some buildings are going to get damaged. And that's your beef, not the people? You think kill the people. That happens in that country all the time. But look at this lovely build. Look at this architecture. Phil and Kirsty would have loved this. Is that what you're saying? It seems like not the take I would have gone for. Charlotte says, I keep being censored. Here or just in life? Testing phase is what we're calling it now. The testy phase. You lot are hilarious. Fridays are brilliant. I still feel that at some point, the Friday shows will be the bit that someone takes a clip of, and I will be... Horses have jockeys, unlike the drones. That's true. Yep. I imagine we must have gone through a phase of pilots to then air jockeys, because they're lighter. That would have made more sense. And then eventually the unmanned drone. I missed that one, but that would have been interesting. Charlotte says, why is it always me and you, Chris? Are they getting edited? Is that because you're calling me an F word? Or a C word? Or a D word? Or a Q word? Or let's have a look at the keyboard. Which word doesn't have a word to it? Q, W. I got a QWERTY keyboard. I'm not showing off. An E word. There you go. Try and call me an E word. I think it's pronounced Edward or something. Problem memes in 2 years, the Friday show will be chat only. Thanks. Which is not me, just you lot. Great. Can I still join in the chat? Can I? Hang on. Is that better? I'd go to 2 weeks. Well, let's just crack on with some actual news before I get replaced on my own show, shall we?
Let's get inside the news.
There's a lot to do. A lot. There were other front pages now. Look at it. Do you know what? Screw it. We'll move on. I don't know about, the old, what can we do? Right. Here we are. We start off with therapists fined for fake jabs of Botox. A beauty therapist injected 2 customers with what she claimed was Botox, but used cheaper, illegal chemicals. Do you not think that when someone's coming around with a hypodermic syringe, but they're just like a woman who comes around to your house and you have a little party, if someone is doing medicine in the same environments that Tupperware used to be sold, then already a red flag. Maybe I'm going to take an injection. All right, okay, who's going to inject me? Oh, the traveling beauty therapist. I've also had an issue about this. Used to do material about it. Beautician, I'll let you have, but beauty therapist, well, just because you wear a white coat, don't be a doctor. Therapist, occupational therapy, physiotherapy, therapies, beauty therapy. No one's ever been referred to you after being diagnosed ugly by a GP. So, but also I just don't trust any of this anyway. If someone's coming around being that dodge, don't let them in jail. I've said this before. I wouldn't go and have a Brazilian butt lift put in because I'm fine with stairs up there. Remote Knobs says, hi ho Kermit. Probably. Well, you listen, there's no need to be harsh about the chat people. I quite like them. I know it seemed like I was being replaced, but there's no need to call them that. New chatter, who dis? Who what? Who that? Have I missed a new one? Have we got someone new in they don't last long, do they? Who was the guy the other day who just kept saying com? Some rapper from the 90s. I slammed the door as I walk into the bedroom. Wham, bam. Because I'm the king of the castle. Nah, turn me loose. Trying to hit it is a hassle. Come get some of this. Try and play me like Nintendo. Never ever let go. Hitting the crescendo. Do re mi fa sol la ti do. Where are we doing? That's who was at Steve's door before. That's why he has no forehead wrinkles. I mean, it's not bad, is it? What about bee jockeys? Says Britt. Good point. Good point. I know loads of those. It's a very good point. Folks talks, says Martin. Photox. Botox, fake Botox. Thank you. I had Botox on my bollocks, smooth as a baby's. There's where your ellipsis is needed. Did you see Leave It lips full of holes? No, I didn't. It is annoying that she's Levitt because it would have been so. Look, it's literally Leave It, isn't it? Let me say it as Leave It. It would have been so nice to Mike read every news story about that. That's why I stick to massage. There's no sticking anything anywhere. Actually, where's the glasses? Required one of them. Joodle says, God damn, actual splutter laugh after a diagnosis of ugly. Now I'm wearing the coffee. Well, that's going to help. They could help you clean it up because they're literally just a beautician, not a beauty therapist. Whoop whoop, occupational therapy representation. I'm a forensic occupational therapy, by the way. Good. So for the court, that's what it means, isn't it? Forensic. People misuse the word forensic. It just means like of or pertaining to the court. Someone called Keir Starmer a forensic lawyer. Aren't they all? Anyway. But yeah, shout out to the occupational therapies, beauty therapy. Nurse, Steve's rapping again. It did go on a bit, didn't it? Was that? It was not L7, K4. It's some weird thing. It's basically a battleships move, isn't it? That band. If anyone could do a research on that, that would help. We are one story in. Banking leap. Hang on. Take it again. We're one story in. Christ. Banking leaks on Lloyd's app. A banking app glitch left customers able to see other users' transactions. And I would just like to say, we actually got a message on this from, is it Martin, who got in touch and said, let me hide that. There we go. By the way, I was checking my bank account this morning, and I have to say they saw you come with that audio interface. Oi, none of that. But it is a worry, because I do have an account with Lloyd's, and I have something of a media profile, something of a level of recognition. That means if someone was seeing other people's app, they might have looked at my details and be like, wait a minute, this is former TV's Stephen Allen, cancelled by the BBC. What? So if you have seen the details of my account at Lloyd's, I'd just like to say it's not as bad as it looks. No, I'm sure some money will come in at some point. It's it's ko-fi.com/Mr. Stephen Allen. It's right. No, I'll manage. I'll get through. Also, before you get all kind of judgmental, I was literally just buying fans from a place. I needed a new fan to do the test of the paperweight because you need a fan to get some air going across. I want to know if I can weight down the paper. And I wanted to go to a place that didn't sell anything other than fans. And that's why I made that payment. You're up to date. Leave It has a much older husband, but she's the one getting Botox. I can't hear the words John Healy without thinking of that rap. I'm sorry, I can't remember what that rap was, but it probably wasn't a good one. Did Elon name it? Good point. Keir Starmer misspelt forensic. He's a foreskin lawyer. That is, it's closer than you think, isn't it? Letters-wise, sound-wise is a big leap, but Charlotte says, oops, I'm with Lloyd's. I hope nobody saw what I bought this morning. Yes, I did, but tell me again what it was. Cancelled, like all your checks. Oof. You and me. I just bought some UPVC trim. I don't know why that sounds the dirtiest thing on the show. Nice bit of trim. Hope you didn't use Amazon, Charlotte. They're forever recommending things on previous purchases. Most embarrassing. Listen, that might have happened to you. I don't know what you've been buying, but that's absolutely. Which was the politician who complained about websites talking about like Thai girls in your local area, and it clearly was just because of previous searches. Speaking of which, here we are. In entertainment news, hats off to Rita. Rita Ora has found a novel use for those painful, pointy hats that you come across at children's birthday parties. Yeah, I guess she has. It's the more worrying thing is you do not want to see how she manages to blow the party. Not with a face. I'm off to a birthday party tomorrow. I've actually been invited to my 4-year-old's birthday party. It's his birthday party, and he has actually invited me, which is nice, I guess. I was probably going to go anyway, seeing as I live here. But, yeah, I will not be doing that. I'll have you know. Now, this is the story we talked about. Zoom in. No, it's like this one. Most GPs always sign off for mental health. Most GPs have never refused a patient's request for mental health sick note. Research suggests. Of course not. Because you got something crazy like 8 minutes to get people in and out. So if you want to get rid of them, you give them what they've asked for. If you don't give them what they asked for, they're going to hang around. They're mental. No, that's not the take on this, is it? The nearly 3/4 of the 752, is that how many we've got? Family doctors. There are more members of the House of Lords than there are... No, there aren't. Because that's 600, isn't it? There are nearly as many members of the House of Lords as there are family doctors. Is that just the ones in a survey? There aren't 700 in the entire country, are they? No wonder I can't see. No wonder mine's fake. The BBC said... It's a BBC survey, surely. The 11 million sick notes. Christ. Can I get me one of those? I think I wouldn't even have to turn up to the meeting because I could just show them this show. Don't go mad. Go menthol, says Prepper Memes. Madonna now sulking. She's never had a matching pointy belt skirt. Yeah, I always thought that with Madonna, with the conical bras. All very well, but you know what people in the media are like? They're always like, oh, darling, and they go in for the hug. Oh, the number of people she must have punctured. Martin says, Chris, I'm sure you look lovely in it. And Chris says, it's a bit tight, to be fair. It's the elastic. You want to loosen it off a little bit. Nice pic of Rita. Is Steve still talking? Oh, it's screwed up now. You know your way around a paintbrush, don't you, Chris? What's happened there? What do you do? Menthol would be a sting. That is a good point. You don't want to menthol down there. I've had my moments. Well, now we're all going down that route. How many of these do we have to do? Oh, it's worth mentioning this one, I suppose. Pro-Iranian regime protesters at a hate rally in London will be kept 800 foot from opposing groups on Sunday by the River Thames. Why have they not been doing this before? When you get the two different groups that want to protest against each other, put them on either side of the river. There's a massive, big flip-off river through the middle of London. It makes sense. Plus also, one of those groups will be looking across some water and seeing the other ones, and kind of that's what they want to see anyway. Do you know what I mean? So, a little taster of what you're in for. This is some good news. Long-term youth unemployment is at its highest rate for 12 years. Why is that good news? Because it's youth unemployment. And if there's one thing that's true of youth unemployment, eventually it stops. It becomes older person unemployment, but take the flipping win. You know what I mean? We're romping through these now. We should all have huge pointy bras during COVID then. That's a good idea. No, because normally you talk nonsense when you talk about eggs. But when you get onto bras, I'm listening. Green Tiger Balm has menthol for relaxing muscles. Did you not, Britt? Did you have a pointy bra? I tend to lather myself in it at the end of the day. What, to try and like slip out the door? No, you're up to date. You're not impressed? Come on. There it is. You've got to hold the note. You can't just hit it and run. In good nick, Nicole Kidman has an unusually strong sense of smell, which ruins her day-to-day life. Yes, I've got so much in common with Nicole Kidman. The actress is haunted by bad scent. This does not fit in my thing, does it? The actress is haunted by bad scents, but got some relief during the pandemic. After COVID, I lost my smell. Finally, I was free, she said, adding that Rihanna, is the best-smelling celebrity. That could have taken a turn, couldn't it? I'm in exactly the same boat. I've got a ridiculously good sense of smell. I can spot it when people are ill. If they walk past me, they've got a cold. I can just smell it. It smells like metal. There's a metally smell to people who are ill. And I think it benefits me. I stay away from ill people. But at the same time, public transport is a level of torture that I should never have to go through. You know that thing when you put a little bit of parfum on the wrist? I never understood why. And it's so you can sit there like this on the tube. Just try and breathe through my watch. Only reason I still wear one. You can sense the bottom of the watch. So much in common with Nicole Kidman. You've cracked it, Ems. The reason he gets no Kofi is because of no pointy bra. Steve, sort that out. I'm not sure if I... Where is Ems having a crack at that? Where's... How far back do we have to go? That one's not showing up. Have you been edited out for suggesting I wear a bra? That feels like the kind of thing you should be edited out for. You and those hospital dogs, Steve. Yeah, smell ill people. If you can play Just Can't Get Enough by Depeche Mode on the keyboard, I'd be impressed. I'm impressed. I'm going to have to work on that. Just get enough. That bit I can do. It's the ginger gene. No. Because I know ginger people are more tolerant to pain. They can bear it better. I only have a ginger beard, which means I'm not, not going to do the childbirth thing, but it's the hang on. That's what you get when you've snorted coke the best part of the 80s to the noughties. The best part? No, it's the opposite, isn't it? Do you think that Daniela Westbrook, does she have a good sense of smell or a bad sense of smell? The septum isn't useful in smelling. That's not what the sense is. But I imagine she can really draft in a big sample. Do you know what I mean? When she sniffs in to smell what a room smells like, this is when you need a paperweight for your paperweight. This is where you need Steve's desk nuts. Westbrook's coming around. She sneezes. I better put these desk nuts on my paperwork. It's like a ginger beer. It is like a ginger beer. Because they also don't feel pain. God, that actually makes sense. I'm always worried when this show makes sense. On a Friday, at least. Obviously not Chris. I don't make the rules. Hang on, let's go higher up on this one. Wasn't that meme in bikini not enough? You did see me, didn't you, in the bikini? Yep. Comedians in bras asking for Kofi. Is that what it is? Comedians solving bra fitting problems. Well, I'm not an expert, but I'll try my hand. Or two. Do you miss the old days of the lad mags when the hand bra is an amazing invention? Right. We're a nation of vampires. That's bad news, isn't it? But we're not. Vampire Britain is on the rise with millions of night owls admitting to doing their best thinking after dark. That is not what vampires are known for. It's like a vampire. Oh, what his cognitive powers are better later on. No, it's the biting people and living forever and flying and burning in direct sunlight. These are bigger issues These are more, does he go when there's garlic around? No, he just thinks quite a lot later on. Well, then he's a student. That's more fitting of the trope. Absolute twat. I have a very slight ginger gene. I had ginger hair as a kid, and my dad had salt and pepper moustache. I have a silly sense of smell. You might be right. I worry for my kids. I don't want them. That's of all of the things I do not want to pass on. This level of a good sense of smell. Don't want it. Night owls are a pain in the neck. Well, you wouldn't feel it if you're ginger. I was a ginger kid until about 4 years ago, when you stopped being a part of the youth unemployment thing. Good. I don't know. I didn't know you could grow out of ginger. Well, I guess people go grey, don't they? You can have a mercy greying. It's about the same, Chris. Brit, they think better at night, but melt if given garlic bread. Students. No, they love garlic bread. We're confused. Night owls. Night owls with a K. That's cleared things up. Sometimes I think it's me, but then I look at the chat and it's not, is it? Jurassic Park is an absolute mutt-see. What are you doing that? What a waste of some words. As it's been voted Dog's favourite movie. Almost half of owners said Steven Spielberg's 1993 dinosaur cloning classic keeps their pet. Why would you put that on? I understand. You want the animals to feel that they're not alone when they're at home. But why show them massive animals that could eat them? A dog, often smaller than a goat, must be watching that scene where the dinosaur eats a goat and thinks, shh, why would you do that? Why would you not put on a film that's got some dogs in it? Let's say Marley and Me, but doesn't he die? Don't show him that. Or do show him that as a threat. I don't know. But put this on. If you've got dogs, you're leaving them at home, put this on. It will really help my YouTube hours, but also, ruff. There you go. Ems says, leave us gingers alone. It takes a lot to hurt us, but we can smell it out. Exactly. What would you rather have? Would you rather feel slightly worse physical pain or smell what people are really like? I mean, it must be hell for you in prison, Ems. Because, I guess not everyone goes to the shower, what with the rumours of that space. And if they do, they're dropping soap and leaving it, so I guess everyone's a bit whiffy. And do they have whiffy in jail? Salt and pepper moustache, spicy, says Charlotte. At least you're not dyslexic gingers misspelling it, that's a good point. And ginger hair and salt and pepper moustache. What next? Garlic eyelashes. That's funny. Right. 100 mile an hour, then kip on M4. A driver fell asleep at the wheel for 20 minutes in the middle of the motorway, which on the M25 you can often do because you've not moved, but this is bad. Maldini Fernandez made a car. There's no way. The police turned up and the name they gave was Maldini Fernandez. That's the fake name I'd come up with if you saw I was actually buying on my Lloyd's account. 31 earlier sped along at 100 miles an hour, flashing other motorists to move over. So we know it's a BMW, do we? We know it's a BMW? We'll read on and see if we find out. Dash cam footage from his car then showed his vehicle rolling to a stop on the M4 at 1:20 a.m. He was asleep for 20 minutes as cars and lorries roared past between junction. I know it well. So he's near the services. What an absolute. Didn't say what he was driving. No, I've got money on this. Come on. Maldini Fernandez of Southwest London. Oh, yeah, that well-known Southwest London name, Maldini Fernandez. Admitted dangerous driving. Well, for the 100 miles an hour dangerous driving, and it's not great to fall asleep, but also, I don't know if you can be held responsible for it. I guess you can. 3-year driving ban. Well, he'll get a nice kip now. Thames Valley Police said, thankfully, no one was seriously injured or killed. Yeah. If you're driving while tired, take a break. Yeah. Definitely a BMW. There's no way it's not. I know we didn't find out, but we just take it as a given. Dash cam. Special purpose pockets are the future. Are you talking to Ems again? Because she's got the prison one. Can't you smell people's pain? I can, metaphorically. I was born, says Brit, with a full head or very dark brown hair. Fell out, grew back super light blonde. Turned brown in the late 30s. Now I dye it bright red. Okay, well, you've done all the hair colours. Is it true that blondes have more fun? I guess the fact that when you were born, because you get that, I can't remember the name of the first hair that you get that falls off and grows out again. It's not vellum, that's that other weird stuff. No, the vellum's the thing you write on. Some weird Latin word for some gross bit to do with birth. Oh, it's natural. Have you seen that, the white stuff that comes off? Have you seen that babies come off with the white stuff on them, like they've just been trying to swim the channel in goose fat? No one talks about this. You got to go, oh, it's your beautiful baby boy. Yeah, you're not allowed to do that. My little girl, says Hi-Ho Kermit, was born with a full head of dark hair, but it never fell out, and now she's 4-year-old with very long hair. Okay. Can you ask her if blondes have more fun? I'm not how she'd know. Britt, you don't even need hair to have loads of fun. Tell me about it. Well, you're perfectly placed to tell us which ones of... Hey, you've Joodles, that is exactly the question. I'm sorry I missed that. Ems, I was very careful typing that PM. I don't want to get cancelled too. You weren't very careful... No, don't be giving me this. You were very careful typing, Ems. You misspelt the word hello wrong twice just a few days ago. And didn't do the place in London or the racial thing. So we should be grateful for that. Let's have a look. Knee-high boots, Charlotte. Well, this has gone down a different path. And that's the worst part of childbirth, Steve. The icky, that looks like just from the channel. The stringy, meh. Mm. Meanwhile, here's the bit I'm going to get cancelled for. Harvey will die if NHS refuse to give fat jabs. I'll give you one of these. No, I'm not trying to be harsh. I'm just saying there's no way they'll refuse to give him fat jabs. And I'm trying, if anything, to agree with the author of this story here, Katie Price. I'm on your side, but it's very difficult to be on your side when what I'm saying is, of course a doctor would give him fat jabs. I think this is the most foregone conclusion in the history of medicine, isn't it? And again, I know that sounds like I'm being harsh, but I'm trying to agree with you. If your local GP does not give fat jabs to Harvey, I will pay myself for the weighing scales that need to be replaced in that office. I'm not trying to be harsh. I'm trying to say yes. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Well, let's just move on before I get cancelled by the BBC. Oh, too late. Steve, just sent you a tweet. I'll have a look. I'll have a look in a minute. Charlotte's been censored again. What's happened? That was a medical incident, and I don't think you should mock it. Or maybe I was trying to prove I wasn't a bot. I don't know. I think what we should do to prove that people here are not bots, I should individually assess the situation. We will now do a new thing where I get to assess you bots. Or something I can't remember. You see the joke we're heading towards. Let's have a look. What's Martin sent? Here's another great meme, says Martin. Get rid of that. Load that one on. Filter appointments, current appointments, total number of appointments 1. Is that what you haven't done? Oh, here's another great name. Hercules Santiago. I see what's happening there. Yeah, exactly. If anyone's got a name like that, they were under pressure when someone went, and your name is Maldives Fernandez. Not buying it. Not buying it. By the way, Martin also sent a bluesky on the subject of the banknotes. Churchill, who gives a damn? Nice. Nice. We've got another thing on here to show you, by the way. This is me saying what I'm not going to be covering. This is Hannah Spencer, the Green MP, and everyone's been talking about her outfit. And no, I saw this as a potential story and thought, I'm not doing that because, in a sense, I don't care. look, you can pass comment, but if you do, this is the Greens you're talking about. They will literally straight away go to just evidence of misogyny. Would you judge a man for how he dressed in politics? Yeah, the finance minister of Greece, when they were going through the Eurozone crisis, the guy who never wore a suit, wore a T-shirt. Every flipping story about him was, you don't wear a suit. The reason you don't comment on men's outfits is because they all wear the same boring blue suit, grey suit. You try commenting on that. So I don't think anyone commenting on your outfit is misogyny, especially when most of the people saying you look terrible, especially in the Daily Mail, are women. But what I love about this argument is that if a woman criticises another woman's outfit, some absolute genius will say, oh, that's because of ingrained misogyny. How is it our fault? The Daily Mail will have some woman saying that this woman's outfit is bad and it's men's fault. I know, I give in. We're done. Let's have a look. NHS can't get the price right. The price is right. Proper memes. What about a Zoom call? That would sort out the bots amongst us. That's what a bot would suggest. Ah, clever girl. Okay. If he dressed like Ronald McDonald, yeah, do you know what I mean? Exactly. You would definitely comment on a man's outfit if it was some of that. Zelensky. Every time he doesn't wear a suit, someone has to mention it. Spencer is a real green and makes her own clothes. Oh, there is that as well. That could be that. Oh, this one's worthy of a mention. Cyclists wearing a helmet is not cool. Half of cyclists do not wear helmets because they are uncool or mess up their hair. Well, is it cool? Is it cool to have your head split open? Is it cool? I know I'm sounding like your parent now. The bigger question here is, if you don't think it's cool to wear a helmet, why do you think it's cool to wear Lycra shorts so tight we can see your religion? I'm talking about men and women. Why do you think wearing Lycra that is so tight, it will split you in twain, and we're behind you in traffic? Do you think that's cool? Do you think that's cool? They probably think that's cool. Be split in twain is my three words. Schools art Islam offence warning. Should have done this earlier because it's serious news, but Labour councils have claimed that artwork by school children can be considered blasphemous under Islamic law. They issued guidance to teachers advising against letting pupils paint pictures of the Prophet Muhammad, because that happens all the time. Oh, well, my 4-year-old has never come home with the school bag. What's in here? You got some pasta stuck to paper for some unknown reason. You've done some cutting out. And what's this? A caricature of the Prophet Muhammad. But the fact that you decide to put an actual rule in place. I feel sorry for those caricaturists who are on the South Bank or around Covent Garden, that area. Because every so often someone must go up and they'll be like, brilliant, I'll do a caricature of you. And what's your name? Mohammed. Nope. I don't mind a bit of Lycra. Well, of course you don't, because you cycle and you want to be careful. I'm presuming you wear a helmet. You don't worry about whether it's cool to wear a helmet. But I'm just saying it's not cool to be besplit in twain up the jacksie. Helmets, Snigger says, Brit, honestly, you've been on the cream eggs, haven't you? Or the mini eggs. They don't wear a helmet, but we can still see it. Where do you get your kicks? Casualty. Peter K. I don't know the full reference of that joke, but we'll take it. Mammal, Ems is saying, thank you for that. Casually. Oh, casually. No, casualty. I thought that's what you're aiming for. Half of motorcyclists in California don't wear helmets either. Well, Maverick never did, not even in the new Top Gun movie. And yet he did when he was in a plane. So I guess you're not too worried about looking cool when you're doing a flyby in a plane worth millions. Okay, that is already cool. I know boatloads of those. I'm worried about what joke you just landed there, because that could be a very good and very offensive joke. Proper memes. I don't want kids to draw Muhammad. Maybe don't talk about it in schools either. It's not cool. It's sweaty air. Well, this is all gross, isn't it? I suppose there's some practicality to that advice, Because, it doesn't seem to be mentioned. Our kid's not drawn a lot of religious leaders so far. And if it ends up being that they've got a sketch of all the main ones apart from one, then maybe I'll raise the issue. But also, there is a practicality to it. Like, I would like that not to be a rule. I'd also not like to have to go in hiding for the rest of my life. Although I can broadcast from home, so that'd be fine. But, you know what I mean? What have we got going? He wore a lid in that jet, though. Okay. Is that how they work? I'm not really up to date on all these. MI5 IT worker emailed secrets. An MI5 contractor with high-level security clearance sent emails detailing his work to foreign countries. Disgruntled IT worker. Juan Tarek Joseph. Man, what 3 words? Also travelled to Latvia. He denies preparing to disclose information damaging to the UK under another country in the National Security Act. I can't remember why I was going to do that. There was some funny thing I thought at some point, mocking IT workers, but now it's a bit serious, isn't it? And people are eating insects for breakfast. Do you know what? We've done enough. Let's see what else. There's players out here. I know boatloads have not done that one. Are you still there, Charlotte? Aren't you already in hiding? I've been cancelled by the BBC. I don't know if I've mentioned that, but for the show that's had the keyboard in it, we've not actually done a lot of keyboard, have we? What I was trying to do recently was work on this. You get a friend in me. You get a friend in me. Because Randy Newman sounds like... I'm not the only one who hears Randy Newman sound like that, am I? You got trouble. You got do. It's not... I'm not being offensive. That's how Randy Newman sounds. We stick together and with the get a friend in me. Yep. I wish more people could feel engruntled. What have I missed? Ems. She's neatly typed this one out. There will be no typos in this one. Let's see. Ems. As a child, we had to write our own play rather than the nativity, and my contribution was Margaret Thatcher wearing a cola can necklace. Okay. So you thought, let's not do religion. That upsets people. Politics. Wow. Steve is already keyboard. And I've made the macro and everything. I can't remember. I'll only be happy when we get the actual camera set up. So it's not just... there's a great Mad TV show about Randy Newman, is it? I slayed as MT. You were Margaret Thatcher, were you? Wow. Might you want to shift the keyboard slightly to the left so we can see more of your hand? Yeah, that's the thing. If I move the camera, it just... The USB's not good enough. Bugs for breakfast. Cocoa plops, anyone? So, this is about all we've had time for. We should do, before we head off, the... I didn't have my energy drink of the day. No wonder this show's been another pile of pants. Let's do this. Oh, and I didn't learn. I wanted to play along.
Here are the plugs where you can see Steve and Helen all this week.
Morning. Some of this down you. Only charges in the top corner. But plugs. Friday tonight, Sherfield on Loddon. Very much feels like I've got it wrong. I think someone in the chat yesterday was saying it should be Sheffield or London. But that implies I type like M's texts. From within nature's pocket. And I don't. So that's... No, it's Sherfield on Loddon. It's got an RG postcode, and that's why I took the gig. So that can't be too far away, can it? Monday night, would you be interested in Almost Daily After Dark, where what we could do is head into 9 o'clock or 9:30ish. We could do a live stream, you know the thing, if I have to dash in the house. But basically, the missus is away for a few days, and what I could do with the missus away is get up to all kind of nefarious business. But I've checked my Lloyd's account, and I can't afford it. You can't afford it. I read that, so we're not going to do that instead. Maybe just do another show. Tuesday, almost daily, but we will have done one the night before. If that's not too much for you, we'll have some of that. Wednesday, Steve finally earned some money. GB News, 11 p.m., reviewing the news, and I didn't write anything else down. So all you need to do is what we got at Mr. Stephen Allen would be the place to go for X Bluesky Dooski Threads if you want to see that. There's some clips on there. Subscribe, do all the YouTube one. I keep forgetting. Do the YouTubey ones where you comment on the thing. We're getting there. We're building up. We're heading towards the hours when I get a slightly better account. It's going to take a while. Of course, it's going to take a while, but we're getting there. Hang on, there's a message. Yeah. And the oh yeah, look at this. Good point. Proper meme. Saturday cancelled. Yeah, I was meant to be on Times Radio, but that's been cancelled. But didn't make a jingle for that. Cancel plugs. Yeah. Thanks for the giggles and laugh snorts, says Britt. Have I ruined your cocaine supply? Is that what you're saying? Nothing worse. Oh, I bet I've cost you some money there. That were me, says Martin. I used to have an online seconds shop called Perfect Butt. It's near Shinfield. Are you saying that Sherfield is near Shinfield? I mean, like alphabetically. I'll give you that. I'm playing all of the right notes. Not necessarily in the right order. I'll give you that. Oh. Steve has a shop called Perfect Butts, and that's why he's got banned from Tesco's. I'll give you that. He won't sell many ice cream going at that pace. At Mr. Stephen Allen on YouTube. Leave some comments when the video gets turned into a proper one. That'd be absolutely lovely. Spread the word and all that stuff. If there's any money left, and we all know what petrol costs these days, but Ko-fi.com/Mr. Stephen Allen. Any money's gratefully received. And that's about it. I think we're done. Till possibly Monday night, if you're up for something. Thank you for partaking in the live and loose. It's been live, and it's been loose. And I've been available for a very obvious reason. I've been... Oh, good point, Joodles. The reincarnation of Spotify. So, I know when I got ill and I lost my voice a bit, I stopped getting around to doing so much. I just limped on. But now we've got enough juice in the tank to get around to doing the audio versions of the podcast from the All Hit Radio Show. So, you could subscribe on podcast, wherever it is. You search for Stephen Allen Almost Daily on Spotify. You get the audio-only version. And at some point, the songs from this show should be on Spotify under the different account, not the podcast provider. The musical artist, Steve N. Allen. This is what's wrong with democratization of the internet, right? I'm allowed to do that. In the old days, when there were gatekeepers, someone was in charge of making sure that music wasn't absolute pants before it could be available to you. So that will be a thing. Hi-Ho Kermit says that TV still had a screen, even after it was smashed. I think it's AI. No. It's... That's what old TVs used to be like. They were just tougher than they are these days. I will need a disco nap before after dark. Oh, actually, yeah, good point. Can I take you with me to Amsterdam? If you're paying, I would... Oh, I suppose I've got to look after the kids, so no. That's just that. If you want a metaphor for what grown-up life is like, can I go to Amsterdam? No, I've got to look after the kids. Right there. That scene, the shortest, they say like, what's the most saddest play in a few words? However many words that is, there's a sad play. Can't go to Amsterdam, got to look after the kids. Isn't that stretching it a bit? Musical artist. It is, it's stretching it more than a cyclist heading into the Dartford Tunnel. You get confused about which one you're doing. You feel like Wile E. Coyote. Toodles chat, Steve. Yes, Chris, thank you very much for hanging around for this. I think we're all thoroughly up to date. So Monday night is a potential. We'll see how these nighttime ones go. And till next time, bye.
Here comes the news with a twist and a grin. Stephen Allen diving in again.
Britain is in the grip of a vomiting epidemic. We find most leading TV adverts
He'll hit your brain like a lightning spark. Stephen Allen,
on slavery,
almost daily.
Investigating
Laughs and facts served out plainly.
Look at your face.
Your
Like, what are you going to do with that, Steve?
It's never shady.
the paper's blown away. We're going to need some bigger nuts.